Well, hello everyone. This is Michelle Mras, and you are watching Mental Shift. If you happen to stumble across Mental Shift and you're like, who in the world is this woman, Michelle Mras? Well, I'm an international speaker, a speaker coach, a trainer of mindset, and an author of 2 books. I happen to have this podcast, Mental Shift, and you can. I'm putting right at poor LJ's face. Subscribe or follow at the Anchor and follow me on Spotify, whatever. You can find me. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel because this mental shift is probably where you're watching it on, and share it with your friends and family. I just wanted to say I love being a host of this podcast. Why? Because I meet really interesting, amazing people who are doing great things in our community and beyond. And that is what Mental Shift is about. I bring on people, entrepreneurs, just normal, everyday people who are just living every day, but have had some sort of a mental shift in their life. Thus the name Mental Shift, that geared them up from whatever they were doing before, shifted them, and they excel now to something else. So think about that. When you're listening and talking with us, with our conversation today, what mental shift have you had in your life that will propel you to the next level? So as I'm babbling on, welcome, LJ.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here. Good weather. I'm glad. I'm happy. It's good. Yes.
Awesome. Well, I asked LJ on because she knows a couple of friends of mine, and I wanted to know more about her. And basically, we're having coffee with you. So, LJ, what do you do?
So I am a health and wellness coach. So strong background in fitness. I've been teaching classes, I'd say over 20 years, about 23 years, a lot older than people think I am. So yes, been teaching classes and doing personal training and everything for about 23 years. Health coach is another one of my passions that I've been pursuing with nutrition. And as far as health and wellness, really honing in on keto. So I'm a keto coach as well.
Oh.
Yes, that's what I do. That's my passion.
Oh, that's fabulous. And yeah, I was kind of thinking you were about 28. So
I know, right?
This when you were...
God, the secret's out. I'm 40. I've got a 20-year-old that's in the Air Force. So yes, I'm a little bit older, and God's graced me, and I'm doing well. But yes, so far so good.
Well, I'm thinking, well, health and wellness, she's in the right field, because we all want to be younger, right?
Right.
And I'm about to say something so politically incorrect, okay? Because I say it all the time because I'm 51. Black don't crack, Asian don't raise it.
And she said it, I wanted to say those things, but hey, this is you. It's very true. It's very true. Yes, healthy living is part of it as well.
It's a huge part of it.
But this oily skin, it can be problematic as a teen, but as you get older, I'm like, the wrinkles are not there. Like, you wake up and you're like, I'm good. I just have a little bit of smile lines. Like, that's it. A couple smile lines and I can live with that. And aging gracefully, yes.
Well, and I giggle because, it's not a derogatory thing, people.
Oh, no, absolutely.
And you all know me. Those of you who are watching me, you know me. I'm not a mean person. But all my childhood, my teen years, I had such bad acne. I used to always cry that I wanted these things to go away.
I know. I had horrible acne as well. And part of it was my nutrition, but part of it was just the oily skin. Like, my skin's oily. It's breaking out. Like, everyone's got this picture perfect senior picture. And I'm just like, how much makeup can I put on? But it's like, if you're, it is what it is. Like, if your skin's a mess, it's a mess. You just got to deal with it.
So
if
you're watching,
older, it's
if you're watching, you have oily skin. Embrace the oily skin. It is a good thing. And see, I grew up in the Philippines where it was like 120 degrees and 120 humidity.
Oh,
so
gosh.
Makeup was not a thing. So
right.
I just had acne across my forehead all the time. It was miserable. But I love my oil, and it was a lot of my nutrition. I used to live on Pop-Tarts and Coke, okay? So,
yes.
Yeah.
I remember the college days of staying up late and eating Chewy Runts. I was a Chewy Runt girl, and Sprees, like those boxes, and I just buy them, and that was me. Making great grades, but I was probably eating a little too much candy, too many treats, all that fun stuff. But...
And I'm thinking, this calorie. Well, I can get a lot of sugar and movement with this
right.
one. So I used to always
choose. I can pull that all-nighter.
Yeah, I would choose that. And it's like,
right.
Now that I'm older, it's like, I really hurt myself all those years.
I know. We were turning the clock back. It's all right.
Yeah, and you can recover, and that's what we have LJ on for today, because we want to find out more about what she does and how she helps her clients move from one level to the next, right? And that's why you're listening, because you want to know too.
That is right. Yes.
So what kind of words of wisdom would you like to share?
Words of wisdom. I would say, I know that we just came, past a new year. So in January, it's all of this, new year, new me. We're putting out all these resolutions. We're posting all these, affirmations and etc. But I think what's so important with everyone is I like to focus on when you're moving forward to really set something up that's a lifestyle change, not just, oh my gosh, I'm taking my kids on spring break in March. It's time to get the mom bod gone and get the hot body for bikinis. Like none of that quick fix stuff. Like that stuff is stressful. It's about a lifestyle change. It's always, yes, your mom, your mother, your wife, whatever. But always finding something as far as lifestyle changes. So it's the small changes that you can make, because I think we set these really big goals, which I think is fine, but you need to break them down into these bite-sized milestones so that you can be accomplished and feel the success along the way.
You would think LJ's been stalking me. I say that a lot.
Oh, no. And I haven't been stalking.
You haven't. We really honestly just met.
Yes. So we're speaking the same gospel, which is good. So yes, it's about having that main goal, having your why, but having the milestones, having the mindset, and just really taking small chunks with the journey, I think is more important than, setting these lofty goals. And then it's like, okay, I want to go from A to Z, and then not knowing how you're going to get there. Yeah. I think that's what happens a lot of times. People don't know the steps in between. They need the support. It's about the mindset, like you said, and then just the accountability to make sure that they're getting from A to Z.
Exactly. And I always say, take one little tiny step. I don't care how tiny it is.
Right.
If you want to be healthier, then you don't have to say, I'm going to cut out all X. You don't have to do that. Do one little thing, okay? Mm-hmm. First, get rid of all the sugar. Okay, you have sugar in your coffee. Don't put 1 pack of the sugar in your coffee. And every day take away one other thing.
Right.
And what happens is your mind realizes, hey, I'm not going to die if they change anything.
Exactly.
And it will accept bigger changes. So as you get braver, you can change bigger things. If you've watched me or you want to watch me, go look at some of my older videos. I used to be 389 pounds. So when I did my TED Talk, I was 389 pounds. I say that because, like I said, I lived off Coke and Pop-Tarts and bad right. things.
And we've all made some nutrition decisions that we look back and we're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I did that. But on the other hand, it's like we made it. We're on the other side.
You're still alive.
So it's like, yeah, you said, doing the small changes and not... I think deprivation is a big thing when people are like, okay, I need to get here. And they're like, I'm depriving myself of all sugar, all wheat, all this, all that, no bread. And it's like, you're going from, having the things that are keeping you going to like the next day, you're like, I can't do this, I can't do that. And I think it can be overwhelming, the can'ts and I'm not. And it's okay.
Yeah. It'll rip you up.
Exactly. Yeah. It's a lot of negativity starting your entire day with these goals of, I can't have this, I can't have that. So like you said, if you used to do 3 tablespoons of sugar, okay, maybe you're going to, 3 to 2 or 3 to 1.5, or you go from 3 and maybe you switch to stevia or a coconut sugar, or finding some way to just make the small changes.
Inch out.
Because it's a lot easier to sustain.
Now with me, I kind of had a very fast push into my healthier living. I found out I had breast cancer. And the first thing the oncologist said was remove all sugar. And what I didn't know was carbs turn into sugar in your body. So I had no idea that, oh no, I'll take all the sugar. I can handle that. I don't need sugar. But I was still eating the bread. Right. And it was like, oh, I can't have pasta or anything. They're like,
that's sugar?
No, you can't. So I had the hard ride. It was like, one day I was eating it. Next day I couldn't eat any of it. And so that was like a huge shock for my system. And I dropped all dairy because that was all the sugar too. And so they pulled everything out of my diet. And I'm like, wow, what do I eat? Cardboard?
Right. What's left?
Yeah. But what I found out now is I found another way to eat. So I'll still have little things every once in a while, but it doesn't consume me anymore.
Right.
And the mentality of I had to shift that to I get to choose what I eat. I get to choose what I want in my body to stay healthy. And that's the mind shift I always talk about with everything we talk about with Michelle Mras, Inc. and what I do as a speaker. One small mindset change can shift everything in your world. You just have to make a choice.
Right. It is about choices, and it's making the choice every day, not just making it on the 1st of the month and then on the 15th
or the first of the year.
Right. The whole, oh, I'm doing this, and on, February 1st, you're very dedicated to your goal. And then on the 15th, you're just like, okay, I'm not dedicated. I don't know what to do. It's a daily choice that we make every morning when you wake up. May it be a small choice, may it be a large choice. But like you said, removing that negativity, the can't do this, you can't have that. And it's like, okay, I can have this, but it's in moderation. I used to do 2 servings. Now I'm going to do 1 serving. So it's just the small changes, and people, I think, sometimes discount, like they're like, I'm all or none. But I'm like, the all or none is fine, but it doesn't work for everyone.
And the world is not black and white.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So when that's how you set yourself up for failure. If you say I'm an all for nothing, all or nothing, and you miss one day, or you're out on the road and you can't do what you normally would be doing.
Right.
And you do, oh, well, forget it. This week's blown.
Right, exactly. Or you feel defeated and you're just like, well, I guess I'll start. And it's usually like, okay, well, I'll start next month or next week. And I'm like, well, it is the 12th. We've got about 20 more days left. You know, like,
stop that.
Yeah, like just, you know, like the start can be the next day. Like you can mess up on a Monday and your beginning can be on a Tuesday. It doesn't have to be, oh, well, it'll be March 1st, or, oh, I'm going to do it this summer, or I'm going to do it this fall. Like it can be tomorrow. It could be today at noon.
It could be today.
Yes, it could be today. Yes.
See, I track everything I eat. So
right.
like right now I'm drinking something with serious amounts of sugar and calories in it. And so now that I know I took in that calorie this morning, I know that I'm going to adjust everything else this afternoon.
Right.
So I give and take. It's a give and take.
It's about balance with everything. I mean, food, nutrition, exercise. I mean, it all is about balance. And I think we get this whole like all or none, no pain, no gain. We're not going to get there. And it's like the no pain, no gain. It was funny. I was having a conversation with someone else and it is like, yes, you're going to feel some discomfort when you're working out. Like, yeah, it's going to burn a little. You're using these muscles that have just been hanging out. But at the end of the day, the no pain, no gain isn't applied to everything. It's
Correct.
Not, you know, your nutrition. You don't have to be deprived. You don't have to be uncomfortable. You don't have to be hungry and starving all day long to get results. And I think sometimes social media is like, well, this is how you do it. Drink this, do that, mix this, mix that.
There is no quick
and then
fix.
Exactly, it's going to take work and dedication, but you got to find what works for you.
Yes, and with me it's like multiple things. Okay, so with you it'll be multiple things. It could be one thing, whatever it is, and one thing doesn't work continually.
Right.
So like I started with one and then I plateaued. And so I had to shift up my game, and then I dropped more, and then I had to shift again. So there's always an ever changing thing. You think about, I say this often, that we are like water. Be like water when you're going through troubles in your life, you know, push through, find a way, over, around, or through. Right. Same thing with your body and your health. One way isn't going to work continually. You must shift your game. Your body is so amazing. Your brain is so brilliant. It will adjust and it'll get used to something. And it'll do, okay, this is our new normal. Let's plateau now.
Right. This is our new normal,
yeah,
right?
New normal. Okay, well, you gotta change it up so that your body does, oh, wait, let me work that muscle now. And so that's what I've been finding on my journey. Right. That nothing works exactly the same forever. You have to change. You got to change a little bit.
No, that's true.
Like a boat on water. You've got to shift with the waves.
Even the same with your workouts. If you're doing the same workout, like the workout that I may have did, 6 months ago, I could do it today, but at the end of the day, I can't do the same workout every day for the next 25 years. Like, yes, I'm always going to do a little cardio. Yes, there's always going to be some strength, but I have to change my routine. My body's going to adapt every 6-8 weeks. You got to stake it up a little bit and do something different, because that's the only way you will get the results. So, yeah, that's the deal. I'm sorry if you're doing the same workout, the same video from 20 years ago. You may have to set it free, bring it back in 6 weeks, pull something in new.
and shift it a little bit. I mean, if you like, I'm a big P90X person.
Yes, and I love my P90. I love my Shanti and
but you have to shift that kind of stuff. And so like there'll be certain workouts that you can adjust them, or you can fast forward and do something else in them and then go back to something else. I mean, just as long as you can, your body will remember what the next movement is. It's almost like music. You know, when you listen to the same album, you know exactly what the next song is. You start singing it before it even comes on. Your body does the same thing. It's amazing. I love our bodies.
The muscle memory definitely kicks in. Yes.
So LJ, you are awesome.
Well, thank you.
I'm loving your energy.
Well, thank you.
You're making me giggle through the whole thing. I'm not talking straight or anything.
We're having fun.
We are. So, how do people connect to you? How do people find you if they want to connect and learn more about you and work with you?
The easiest way to find me would be on Instagram. So LJS_powerhouse. There. So LJS_powerhouse Instagram, and then you'll find my website link for any other products and services and everything that I offer. I do have a coaching program that I'm working on right now, and then I'm launching again on March 16th. So I do have a couple of openings.
So they can reach you no matter where they are in the world.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, everything is online with me. So in the comfort of your home. You can be there chilling with your coffee and your tea or whatever. And we just hop online and get everything taken care of. So
Do you
it's
do
really
workouts
nice.
online too?
I do. I've been doing some workouts online. So we do a lot of fun stuff. I mean, all this technology now, we got to take advantage of it.
Well, I'm thinking because a large majority of my followers are not in the United States.
Which is awesome. Yeah. I mean, we can log on to any of the online platforms and get everything done with the coaching. So it's nice.
Perfect.
Nice and convenient. No excuses, right?
Yeah, the world is a very small place.
Right.
So what's your background? What happened with you? What were you doing before? And what kind of mental shift did you have that brought you to this part of your world?
My mental shift, I'd say happened probably back in college. I was a lot heavier going to college. And like I said, I was that person that was eating all these chewy runts and, feeding my little soul late at night, making great grades, maintaining the 4.0. So maybe putting a lot of time and energy into the academics versus putting it into my health and wellness. And looking back, if I could have done something different, like, well, obviously I wouldn't have pulled all those late nights with all that unhealthy stuff, but I got my degrees and all that fun stuff, right?
If you changed your past, you wouldn't be where you are now.
Right. And it's a learning experience. Absolutely. So I made a lot of changes in college. I mean, just coming out of high school, being heavier, wanting to be healthier. And for me, I had a lot of negative and naysayers, this is that. Or, I had someone even a time where I had outgrown some of my clothes and I'm like, okay, my clothes aren't fitting. And it was kind of like, well, if you can't fit into those. And I'm like, oh, well, but as a teenager, like your body's changing. Like you've got all this stuff going on. And like you said, you've got acne one day, your self-esteem, your self-confidence, like everything is very volatile. So maybe I was lacking a little bit of support in that area. But so I took it upon myself and I was like, okay, this is the deal. Like I'm not comfortable in my own skin. It has nothing to do what someone else is telling me. Someone else is like, you don't look like this and that. I want to be comfortable in my own skin. And so I started working out at home. Back in the days, I'm talking about VHS. I was just creating a social media post about this. Back when it was like The Firm and you were like doing the step aerobics and you had your little videos, like I was popping in the VHS. Oh yeah, I had the hand weights. I mean, the step, I was doing it all. And that was like really my journey of starting to work out and become healthier for myself. And then with college, I may have gotten a couple of complaints from a neighbor downstairs that I was like doing some step aerobics really early in the mornings. So I may have gotten a letter. I may have been called down to the RA is like, yeah, look here, you're working out. So then I started walking on the track. Honestly, that was probably my first little boost into group fitness. And it was really just, I remember back in the day, the Walkman, the black and yellow one, because you could walk around and bounce and that wouldn't scratch. Mm-hmm. So I was the cool kid that had the Walkman and I really just started walking around the track. And eventually other people started joining me. I would walk my little 12 laps. That was my 3 or 4 miles. And that was the beginning of my journey, not only just because I wanted to, I think it started off more wanting to change my appearance and just kind of get rid of those negative feelings, but it was also about my self-confidence and my self-esteem. You can be the smartest person in the room, but you need to be able to feel empowered. And I wasn't feeling empowered in all areas of my life. And it's interesting when I look back now, I'm like very outgoing and talking to strangers and, doing whatever, but I was a different person then. So I really had to just take the reins into my own hands. And really that negativity is what kind of fueled me to be like, okay, I need to make some changes. So that was probably the first time when I got called in for hosting an unauthorized exercise group. And I was like, oh, well, I'm just walking on the track. And then these girls from the dorm just joined me.
An
like,
unauthorized.
I know, when you get called into the dean's office in college and you're like, oh my God, I'm not going to get suspended or expelled or like, but it was like
working out.
You're calling me in because I'm walking and friends are walking with me. And it's like, I'm not charging them. There's not a group. Like I was so low key. I'm like, I didn't even know anything about like, staying connected on social media or any of that. Like I was just walking and people started joining me, but people started getting results. And so that's when I started to really see the power of accountability and working together as a team. I had the strength to get out there and walk on my own for a few miles and do my own thing, but it was so much funner when you're like, oh, I'm going at 6 p.m. I know you're coming. Susie Q's coming. We've got our little music and it's just the power of the community that really shifted me to the next level.
And community, it gives you accountability.
Oh, it's huge. Yes. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And see, I got into powerlifting, so I was a bodybuilder.
Oh, nice. Okay.
In my 30s and 40s.
That's nice. Yeah, so you're just getting the weightlifting going. I started on the track. Baby steps for me. Yes.
Yeah. Well, my brother was a bodybuilder, so I used to follow him.
Oh, right.
So that's how I got into bodybuilding. And so I didn't get to 389 pounds by bodybuilding. I just have to say that, okay? I got to that because I had a brain injury. So in 2014, my brain injury. So when you're used to working out and you're used to your body moving all the time.
Oh, absolutely.
And then you stop. I was a hard stop for a year and a half. Right. I didn't move. when you still eat the same way you did when your body was burning the
Oh my
calories
gosh.
and you're not moving,
Mm-hmm.
it happens very quickly.
Right.
And so I want to enforce that whole mental shift and that mentality. Just because one thing happened in your life doesn't mean it needs to define you for the rest of your life.
Right.
Okay. You can change. Every day is a choice. Like she said, every day, one mini change. As she did, she started walking. People started joining her. She realized she liked the group. She
Right.
liked that group feel. Find what your passion is. Find what you need to get moving so that you can find the best version of you.
Right. No, that's true. And I still love the dynamics of the group. I teach group fitness classes now on a regular basis. And personal training is something that I do, but I love the energy of getting, 10, 12 people in the class or largest 60 people and just motivating them, like taking everyone from 0 to 100. Because another thing is you don't know what people are going through. People come in, you don't know what conversation was had that morning. You don't know how they feel. You don't know if their boss sent them this nasty gram email and then they're just trying to like boost their self-esteem and take it to the next level so they can go and be strong in the office. And so it's realizing that everyone's bringing in a different story, a different journey, but being able to collectively build that energy and take everyone to the next level. Like that's my jam. I could talk about that all day long because that is what I love.
That's awesome because that's what you do.
It's what I love. Yes.
That's fabulous. I love that. I mean, people like you are needed in the world.
Right.
Because we need that Energizer bunny that says, come on, let's go.
Right.
Let's do it. Okay, I'll go.
Yeah. Because there are days that you may not want to do it. I mean, that's what I said, like having the accountability partner. If you know that someone's waiting for you at the gym, I mean, you're not going to tell your girlfriend like, hey, let's meet for weights at 5 p.m. and then at 4:52 be like, yeah, I'm not going to make it. Like maybe you
can't
will,
do that to them.
But typically it's your girlfriend. Like now she's arranged. She ain't got childcare. Her husband knows the dinner's going to be late. Like she's now put forth the effort. So you're like, I have to. Like even if you don't lift as heavy or maybe you don't power lift that day, you guys just chill on the elliptical. But it's the accountability where you knew she was coming.
What we
knows.
did with my partner back when I was powerlifting, we never exchanged phone numbers.
Oh.
Because that way you can
There was
never
no
call
excuses.
to cancel. And our deal was, I will sit out front till you show up.
Okay.
And if they didn't show up, they knew I was sitting out front. You see?
And what kind of pressure? I wouldn't want that kind of pressure. No.
It worked.
It's like,
it
what?
worked because like, okay, I woke up late, but I'm here. And that's how it worked.
And that's where technology, like now we can send a Facebook, we can send you a DM, be like, oh, hey, yeah, I can't make it, blah, blah, blah.
Well,
but
and
now,
with
back in the
me-
day when you couldn't, like you had to show up and be like, oh yeah, did I mention my leg is broken? I can't work out. But I had to show up with this broken leg
I've
to
got
show
the flu.
you
I got the flu.
that I
I'm
can't
going
do
home.
it. Right. But it's about accountability.
Well, my accountability partner right now, and I just told him at the gym 3 days ago, he's a guy who always goes to the gym at 5:30 in the morning. I go every morning at 5:30.
That's
and
amazing.
I hear his car start.
Oh.
And if I hear his car pull out and I'm in bed, I do, oh, he's going. And so I just told him three or 4 days ago, hey, just want to let you know, thank you for the loud car. He has, I am so sorry about my car, blah, blah, blah. I said, no.
She's like,
thank you. Because it makes me think, oh, I better go to the gym.
Right.
And so I go. So my accountability partner now he didn't even know he was my accountability partner. I would just go and I do. That was I'm
You're
here.
like, I'm
You're
here.
here.
I'm good.
And he didn't know it was because I heard his car go.
Right? 'Cause that'll wake you up. No getting around that. I mean, it definitely is like, it's time to get up. But like you said, it's part of your, not a ritual, it's part of your routine.
It's my routine.
It's part of your routine. It's something that you love. There may be days that you may want to skip your routine, but at the end of the day, you know that big goal, that larger goal, and each day getting up at 5:30, or even if it's 5 or 6 days a week, that is part of those milestones getting you to the greater goal.
I do everything the same.
Mm-hmm.
I know that sounds really bad because I tell you guys, get out of your comfort zone. But what it is, it's the routine. It's a mental ritual. So I wake up and before I even get out of bed, I do a meditation.
Mm-hmm.
Then I come off my bed. I do push-ups. Then I go in the shower.
Okay.
And then I go to the gym. But if I don't go to the shower, then I go to the gym and then I go to the shower. But I have this same little thing I do. It's just the same 5 things always happen at the same time. Always in sync.
Right.
And yeah, it's what I do.
But if it's bringing you results and it's bringing you success, you can still change it up and get out of your comfort zone in other areas. But
I'm always out of the comfort zone, people.
But if that routine is bringing you results, if it's keeping you stable, if it's keeping everything in flow, then there's nothing wrong with having that routine. I mean, you need that structure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, my brain needs it because it keeps me on track.
Mm-hmm.
It keeps me on track.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And then if for a while there, I was doing 2 times at the gym. So I'd wake up in the morning and I'd only do cardio in the morning.
Okay.
Because I'd have to be at work by 8.
Uh-huh.
So I'd only do cardio. Then I'd come home, shower, get everything done.
Was that like fasted cardio?
Yeah.
Okay, nice.
I do fasted everything.
Oh, nice.
I don't eat until after.
Same here.
Yeah.
I'm after. Yeah.
And I learned that from a man named Tim Corner.
Yes.
He jump-started a lot of my weight loss when he said
Okay.
that. I didn't know. I used to eat first and then try to burn it off.
Mm-hmm.
No, I didn't burn it off
Right.
is what was happening. And so now, fasted. Yes.
Yeah, I'm the same. Fasted all the way. I teach my classes and do my personal workout. And then after that, I'll eat like around noon. Usually I'm done with the bulk of my stuff in the morning.
Yeah.
And then I break my fast at noon, not like others who maybe have breakfast. But for me, plus I don't want to be like jumping around and be hype squad and everything and have all this stuff in your stomach. Like, no. You don't want to do that.
No, I don't do that. And so my husband always giggles at me because I like protein shakes. So I will drink a protein shake into the office. And he's like, why don't you sit down and eat? I do. No. No. It doesn't work for me.
Right.
But if it works for you, good.
Yeah. And like you said, you've got to find what works for your body, and what works for you may not work for me. I just started incorporating like a collagen because I can't do like soy. There's certain things I can't do.
Yeah.
So I found this collagen protein and I'm loving it. And
I
was
put
like,
it in my shake.
I know. And I'm like, I found it at Costco of all places.
Yes.
And it was affordable.
Yes,
like,
I've got it. I think
okay.
I'm using the same thing probably.
I was like, Costco, you just really stepped your game up here now.
They
But
did.
yeah, like they just for like $30. The collagen protein is phenomenal. Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
I use
and
it.
I enjoy it. Doesn't bother my tummy. I can, take it in. I mean, sometimes with protein shakes, you're like, you don't know if it's going to like kick back in a few hours or like the acid reflux. It's kind of like this weird thing. But no, I love the collagen protein. It's working really well.
Awesome.
Yes.
Yeah, I do it too. I always mix it in. But yeah, like I told you, I took out dairy. So it was, it was weird. So I had to get used to that. And collagen, protein powder.
Yeah. It's good for the hair, the nails, the skin. So I know, right? Hair's looking good, right? Yes. So
You both have the good crazy curls going on.
Right, the curl fun. But no, I'm loving the protein. Yeah, it's always nice just to find something because I know that I'm very like structured as far as my nutrition, but I'm open to trying new things. Like, I mean, I'm definitely a label reader. Don't get me wrong. I pick something up, I'm flipping it over, I'm reading the labels. I'm like, I hope it doesn't hurt your feelings. Like, I need to see what's in here because I don't want it spiking my blood sugar or anything crazy happening later in the day.
See, I messed with my curl now. It keeps popping up. Okay,
all right.
So here's the thing. For 3 or 4 years, my oncologist basically said, if your label has more than 3 ingredients, don't eat it.
Oh, okay.
And I'm like, oh, she says, that'll keep you safe.
That's everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically anything in Costco I can't have unless it's in the vegetable fruit.
Right. On the perimeter, right?
Yeah, I was like, oh.
Yes.
But yeah, it was very eye-opening.
Mm-hmm.
It was quite the eye-opening experience. So if you're not a label reader and you look at a label, this is the basic thing. If you can't read the first ingredients on it,
right,
probably don't eat it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and I was seeing my problem was frozen vegetables and frozen fruit.
Oh.
Because you'd look at some of them and you're like, oh, this is going to be, oh, no, it's not. They
Right.
put things in it to make it. So read those kind of labels,
Right.
especially if you think, oh, I'm being healthy, but my weight's not coming down. Things aren't shifting. Look at the labels of the things you're eating that you
Right.
think are healthy. They tend not to be. The other thing was restaurants. They tend to add sugars and things to make their
Absolutely.
vegetables taste better.
Right.
So, yeah. Be weary. And everything that they have in a restaurant, they have it on their websites, what they do with them.
Mm-hmm.
And you can look at them and just make wiser choices.
Right. It is about looking at the nutrition facts. And it's
Mhm.
interesting how you said the frozen fruit because there's usually added sugar. And it's like, if it's a strawberry, I don't understand
Yeah, it's
why.
like,
Why is sugar like this, or, or sorbitol or something, an all or an os or something, some type of sugar. And I'm just like, why? Like, it's fruit. Like,
Yeah.
it's what
Why
I
would you
need.
mess with that?
Right.
I needed that.
You took the purest thing that I could eat, and now you've just messed it up with sugar. So yeah, it is. It's being cognizant, and like you said, and there's so many apps right now. Like, I can't even list all the apps of
No.
like when you're going to a restaurant. Like, I'm getting ready to go to California on Friday, and it's like for me as a keto person, I'm like, ooh, I want to go to these keto bakeries. So I'm like already looking on Instagram and like, oh, where can I get a keto cupcake? And I want to meet the owner and all that fun stuff. But at the end of the day, there's so many apps when you're eating out that'll tell you like
Everything.
yeah, like, so I think before it was more like a mystery, like the restaurant brought it out and you just had to deal with it. But now, I mean, there's way too many resources.
Well, that's because they had
yeah.
people like us who were reading the labels and working on
And
the app,
questioning.
and we were adding things to the app. So I would go out and eat and do, well, this has this and this, and I would add what was in there. I would
Mhm.
build, and I'd send it in. So yeah, people like us who were looking at the labels and reading things we would add and correct things.
Right.
And I think that's why so many of these apps are so accurate now.
Mm-hmm.
Find a good app.
The apps make a huge difference. And then also, I'm sure people know that if you have any type of food sensitivities or allergies, even the more if you're gluten sensitive or dairy, like you're looking in to see what's in that sauce. Like, yeah, you may be getting the zucchini noodles, but there may be some hidden dairy in that sauce. And so I think in the beginning, I think the apps are more for people that had like food allergies, or, you know, maybe you were doing Weight Watchers and you had to count points or cards or whatever. But now it's for everyone, because I mean, there's, you know, you may have a child that has a peanut allergy or some type of nut allergy. And so the apps offer a lot of great resources now that we didn't have before.
And I was highly allergic to coconut.
Oh.
And they put
Dang
coconut
it.
in everything.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah. Oh my
I
gosh.
can't do peanuts. Like peanuts and cashews.
Yeah. No, I almost died a couple of times.
Girl.
I was like, well, why is my mouth swelling up?
Why is my throat closing?
Right? It's like, oh, there's coconut in it. But now, okay, this is really what's really strange. After my cancer, my first 2 years of cancer, whatever we did with my health, with my nutrition, my vitamins, everything came to balance. I'm not allergic to anything anymore.
It's amazing. I started keto and my health journey when I switched over my nutrition with a lot of food sensitivities. I couldn't do any dairy. I couldn't even have Angus beef. Like, it could be hormone free. I mean, it could have fell down from heaven by all means. It didn't matter. Like, I couldn't process beef. And it was just because my body was so inflamed. Like, once I got rid of the inflammation, and it's good to hear that from someone else, because people are like, oh, you're just saying that. I'm like, no, I'm telling you. Like, I had heavy cream in my coffee this morning. 3 years ago or 5 years ago or 6 years ago, there's no way. I mean, I couldn't even put a splash of that because my body was so inflamed already. Putting the dairy in just pushed me over the limit every single time. So yeah, the inflammation's huge.
It's huge.
And you don't realize it.
It's crazy because after my cancer, they did something to me, and I remember doing, don't do that, I'm allergic to. And I didn't react. And I went, wait a minute. So I went back and had another allergy test. And I used to be allergic to every tree, every grass, every mold. In Colorado, I was allergic to everything in Colorado. And then, of course, coconut. And I'm like, I'm not allergic to anything anymore. My body is no longer screaming and fighting at things that were coming into my body. So think about the allergies and things you're having. You might be out of just major balance.
Right. And I think sometimes it's like, for us, maybe that have allergies or sensitivities, we go in and get tested. We're like, all right, we're here. We've suffered for 7 days with no antihistamine. Poke our backs. We're ready. Like, we want the deal. Like, we know the deal. You lay down, they poke your back, it itches. And they're like, oh, this is bad. This is bad. Oop, this is really bad. And you're like, okay. But I mean, you also have to think about it. Like, maybe you eat a certain meal and suddenly you don't feel as good. Or let's say you eat dinner at 6 o'clock and you're in a sugar coma at 6:45. Then something that you took in threw your body off. Something didn't work out right.
And that's why it's important to, you're not going to like me for saying it, write down what you eat.
I know. Log your food.
Log your food and find out what portions you're eating. Just write it down on paper. Honestly, the app is a lot easier. Find an app.
I was going to say the app. Yeah.
Because when you find the app, and what I did was I was noticing, okay, when I ate this type of food, I would get bloated. It would hurt. And so I'm like, okay, well, next time, tomorrow, I won't eat any of that. And I'll only eat this other. So I would take a meal and I would take certain things out of it and put, if I didn't react, I'd leave it and I'd take something else out. And so I was doing a science experiment on my body. And what I found out was my body cannot handle pasta. At all.
And that's like me, soy. I can't do any type of soy. And I lived in Japan for 3 years.
I'm a Filipino.
Right.
So when the first time I did it, I couldn't eat rice. And I'm like, oh,
something's not right.
This is not going to work.
This is not a good lifestyle change. This is maybe a temperamental thing. Yes.
But yeah, test your body. All that science stuff you learned in school, test it on yourself.
It's true.
Put it back in. Take something out, put it back in, and find out what your body's doing about. Because you know that feeling when you do, I just ate and I feel it's something you ate. Figure it out.
Kind of like the elimination diet. Like they say, like you either tailor it down and you're like, you're only eating these foods, or eat something. And then it's like you said, like if you're feeling bloated, or maybe you're in a brain fog, like maybe you have your breakfast every morning, you're feeling great. And then by 10:30, you're in a brain fog. Well, maybe it's something you're eating for breakfast. You know, maybe there's something you're putting in your oatmeal, or as you're swinging through that little drive-through, there's some little goodie or treat that you're picking up that's not working for you. Like, just log it. I mean, I think even on the apps, you can put little notes and different things like that. So you can kind of keep track of everything. And just really, like I said, like taking back your health, like taking back the situation and turning it around.
As I say, there's 3 types of control in this world. Your control, the other person's control, and God's control, or the universe's. You can control you. So figure out what works for you. Everybody's
Right.
different. We are not stamped out from blocks and we're all exactly the same. No. Everybody reacts differently to food and to everything else around us in our environment. And
Absolutely.
we can control how we react to food and how we react to the environment and people around us. It's up to you. It's a choice.
It is. It is.
So
It's a choice
LJ,
every day. Yes.
do you have any last words of wisdom you'd like to share, and then I'm going to tell them how to find you again?
Um, Words of wisdom, I would say, like you said, finding what works for you. Have your goal, but then find those small milestones that are going to get you there. And then I'm all about accountability partner. Once again, I love the energy of a group. An accountability partner, it could be one person. It doesn't have to be a community of 500 people. It could be you and a couple of friends, and maybe you have different goals, but you're still holding each other accountable to get to where you need to be. That's kind of my soapbox. Accountability partners and the group energy is my thing. Yes.
Awesome. I believe in accountability partners, even when they don't even know they're an accountability
Right.
partner.
That's even better, right? When they're doing it for you and they don't even know how much they mean to you.
It's like, please go to the gym tomorrow because I really need to go.
Yeah. What do you do when he's on vacation?
He hasn't been on vacation yet.
Oh, okay. Even better.
And then there's a trainer at the gym I go to that's always there. And I told her, I'm post-surgery, so I'm not allowed to lift over 50 pounds. So if you see me over there on the big weights and I'm holding something bigger, just look at me and I'll stop.
Give me the eye.
I said, just look at me. And she goes, really? I said, just trust me on this. And so every once in a while she'll do.
And you're like, all right.
Oh, gotta remember, gotta put that down because I want to go back. I want to move. But I'm being good to my accountability partners who don't realize they're my accountability partners.
Which is even better. Takes a village. It takes a village.
Well, LJ, thank you so much for joining me. And for those of you who want to reach out to LJ and find out more about her programs, reach out to her. She's on Instagram at LJS_powerhouse.
Yes.
You can't forget that because she's a powerhouse. And I will have it on the on all the words underneath this video so you can find her again. Okay. So either share this video. If you've got some friends who want to get together and do something together, if you're in Colorado, great, go find her.
Yes.
But if you're not in Colorado, find her online and still become the best version of you. It's a choice. You can do it, and I believe in you.
All right. Well, thanks for having me. I appreciate it. It was fun.
It was fun. Thank you for being with me.
Yes.
So have a fabulous day, everybody. And next time, remember, the choice is yours. It's up to you. Play an experiment with your body and the foods that don't like you and what your body doesn't like or what your body does like, and give it more of it. Feed your soul. Take care and have a wonderful, wonderful week.